Welcome back to part 2 of What If Deku Was Everyone. And make sure that was right one. And make sure. Okay. See? What if Deku was everyone? Part 1. So this is the part 2. So, yeah, and I said in part 1, the Zuko, or so, it's going to go over the battle arc thing, like All for One versus All Might. So, let's begin. So, the air got cold around the entire area as they see a man flying down with ghostly personalities, with his face covered. As he looks at All for One, as All for One finds this enjoyable. And he claps his hands. This is my opponent. You must be the one destroys all. And plus, All for One already knows the truth behind it. So, ready? So, All for One says, should I go, or should I take you by the eventually name or your actual name? Call us by our eventually name. Because I know that you're gonna say my actual name is my actual name is Zuko Midoriya. You're basically you have quirks that does not belong to you. I'm here to avenge those who have fallen. You have some issues, aren't you, Zuko Midoriya? As everyone was in the background, shaking in their boots, because they never felt a dark aura like this before. Normally they had to feel themselves with super abilities but this kid is on a whole nother level. Yeah. So, yeah. So, All for One quests him, or actually asks him to put All for One into his prime to make it a fair fight. As he says, fair enough. As All Might's like, are you mad? As he says, are you crazy? And he will kill us all. I don't know how to spell it, so I'm just gonna in his prime. All for One. So basically, Zuko honored his request, as All for One was restored to his prime. So, yeah. And, yeah, when a reason why that I made it this way is because, yeah, so All For One is now back into his prime instead of wearing that stupid mask. And he ends up battling against All For One. Or no, actually All For One battles against the one who destroys all. So, yeah. Yeah. All For One uses the entire world as he tells yeah, as Zuko, or as All For One says, all right, now it is time for us to throw down. So, yeah. So then All Might was like, oh crud, if he loses, we're all screwed. But not even 2 seconds in, Zuko just obliterated him. With a snap of his fingers. Like, wiped him from fabric of reality. That's how powerful Zuko is. If Zuko battles... yeah. As Zuko looks at... or he turns around. As he walks up to All Might, and as All Might was, or everyone was afraid that Zuko might start on a killing spree of everyone. But he stops right in front of All Might. As Zuko could sense the result. Plus, All Might was not in his buff up form. He down buffs, basically. Yeah. All Might. Yeah. All Might was in his buff down form. All terrified of him might do, because he already passed One For All to Zumi. But he's ready to get like himself, as he's about to experience what despair is. But then Zuko just puts his hand out and placed it onto his forehead. The man's soul is pure heart. You're on a straight path. I will let you live. And Zuko puts his... But when Zuko, or next minute, All Might was like, closed his eyes and he's... Yeah. But then, suddenly, a next minute, and then the wound that was on All Might's side healed up. So basically, All Might is... Yeah. Battle... What? Ooh. What? Is it one? I don't know how to spell it, so I'm like trying to find. What? Ooh. I think that's how you spell it. Not world. I'll just say it. My Hero Academia, All Might's Wound. So, yeah. So, this one. So, the All Might was like knocked out before. But that's only when he thought he was gonna die. But a next thing, of course, Zuko repairs All Might's body on a... Yeah. It was... like... It was like All Might and its wounds, like all of those wounds were healed in an instant. And he teleports away. And Zuko was like, okay, we need to figure out once. What did he do? As when All Might when he woke up, he's still alive, as All Might says. Yeah. As he looks at Zuko, or no, not Zuko, he looks at... You might want to see what all your battle wounds were. As he looks at All Might, so All Might looks down, he lifts up his shirt, but he is surprised. And it's like someone just gave him more time for him to go into his prime All Might form. And Zuko, and one of the personalities that he has, was actually, the funny enough, was actually All Might's name. Yeah, All Might's means his master, it was her. One of her personalities was inside of his head and told her or told Zuko that, and with so many powers that you have, one destroys all. I'm grateful that we have met. We are her family. Yeah. So then, yeah. Basically, how long has this video been? I forgot to check. Okay. Not that long. So, yeah. He ends up going, so he's using her quirk of floating, not flirting, floating. Because, yeah. And plus, he actually, yeah. He already has one for all, actually. It's not with his personality things and so many quirks that he has. He even has one for all already inside of his body. Honey. So, yeah. As he tells Nana, or whatever her name is, that and she has, it's not, or she will stick around in Zuko's body. And plus, she already knows who one destroys all is Zuko himself. But he also, so the villains, the League of Villains were captured before, and one of the who destroys all turns into a kid, or actually turns into a young girl, or into Nana, walks over, as she comes in. She sat down to visit, or to say hi to her grandson. So her grandson looks up. Grandma, is that you? Yep, it's me. I'm using this body to communicate. No matter what will happen next, I can't stop caring about you. That's why you're the best grandson. That's why as she was about to head out, but Gran Torino walks up. Are you Nana? Or are you the one that destroys it all? as she turns around. And she's happy to see, oh, it's you, Gran Torino. Long time no see. And I'm actually using the one who destroys all's body to, like, come to here to visit with my grandson. And I did ask him, to be here. So, yeah. So Gran Torino takes her to not a fancy restaurant, but more of like, both of them had a cup of tea, or no, cup of soda thing. And so how can you still be alive if, well, my only regret in this world was not seeing my grandson. I try to protect him from, but he's in good hands of yours, Gran Torino. But I know that I died, but that's the only regret that I have. Plus, but now with him, the one that's, as she points to her own chest, with his power, allows me to visit my own grandson one last time. Because I know that, or you know that I'll always be around for you, okay? Neil? I could still hear you from in this body. Name. Yeah, I agree. So then Zuko ends up, so they had a really good conversation as she leaves. As she transforms back into himself. So then because his power of, like, having multiple personalities, he can turn into a certain people. So basically, like, he could turn into basically he can turn into her at will. So yeah, or anyone. So yeah, all mine, or everybody's like, man, yeah. So Zuko sits down, and it was getting cold outside, like snowing, as he sits down with his knees up to his chest, as his arms folded. And then so, yeah. Then Inko, oh, or not Inko, I was going to say Inko, but then, yeah, Zumi, actually. She ends up looking around. Not Koda. But she finds her brother. She had a jacket on before, of course. Because Inko and Nasashi asked Zumi to find her brother. No. So she was walking around. But then she sees him just laying curled up in the ball home. As she gets close, so then she basically was 2 inches away from him, or 6 feet apart, or no, actually, yeah, 6 feet apart, as she kneels down, tells him that, there you are. As Zuko looks at her with like bright green eyes. And she's like, I know that you, basically, you don't remember who I am. But my mother sent me out. You're Zuko, or Zuko's his sister, that he always respected you. And her face starts to blush. So bad that even like, but how? Tell me. So, then Zumi took Zuko and walked him over to her place, to her home, or to Zuko and Zuko and Zumi's house, where Inko and Asashi are at. So then they find, or actually, she says, I found him. Huh, that's good. Time for you to die. So, yeah, then Zuko walks in, and as Inko walks up, you want your memories back. Or here, I'll give you your memories back. As So, Inko gave him back his memories. So, now, plus, on top of all those memories, was like, from his memories all the way to like everyone else's memories are just like, man, it was like stacked after stacks of people. So, yeah. So he ends up feeling a lot better about himself. Oh. So Zumi cares about him. So then the crime rate a little bit increased, just enough. But the heroes come in and do their things like usual. Yeah. The basically Zuko was a and plus he looks over at Zumi as he starts laughing at her for no reason. As Zumi's like, what are you laughing about? You know how I have the powers of the infinity, zero, and multiple personalities thing? Yeah. One of those personalities was Todoroki and Bakugo. You know, what about them? As Zumi says, is there a reason why that they're not like talking to me directly? As Zumi or as Todoroki he actually Todoroki and Bakugo were talking to themselves before, as he tells Zumi that if she had to pick, they're talking about you. If you had to pick one of those two, who would you pick to date? Who do you love more? As Zumi's eyes widen, and then and she turns around. She covers her face first of all. Like how Todoroki is. But, of course, Zumi ends up telling her brother that that she needs to, because she really does like them both. Oh, she would rather choose both of them to date, not one or the other. As Zuko says, that's my typical sister for you. Yeah. I had figured that you would choose both of them. So, yeah. Plus, so Zuko hangs out with his sister a way more. And plus, everybody's like, or all the villains were like, who's this kid that is hanging around with? Oh, him? He's Zuko Midoriya. As everybody's like frozen in place, they're like, the one that just destroys all. You're you're hanging around with him. He murdered over like every villain, so the crime rate dropped to 0, and like, and yeah, so yeah, yeah. But when they get to know him better, as Zuko says, or Inko, get to know him better. You saw his like that and stuff, but you haven't seen his delicate side. Yeah, as he, yeah, and one of her classmates was actually the same one. Hold on, let me check. Okay. Is a same one that he frightened earlier here in like part 1. Man, he showed kindness to everybody. And as everybody's like, man, are you, one of them like, are you dating your sister? And Zuko just like, no. But I do know that you actually have a crush on Zuko or Zumi. Him? Really? As everybody's like, wow. Yeah. And reason why, as Bakugo and Todoroki just like went into a corner and starts covering their faces. As he walks up close, as he tells both of them that she would rather date both of you. Not one or the other. She really did say that? Yep. So then Zumi ends up says, yep, he's telling the truth. So yeah. As the like scary aura that he had wasn't actually scary, it was just some people are like, oh, stay away from that guy. Kind of rumors thing. Stay away from that guy. He's dangerous. But then when they get to know him better, he basically found out that he's a nice-hearted guy. Basically, she looked at him, and she's like dating him. So, plus, not just her. The Ochako and Momo are dating Zuko at the same time. So, I heard that one boy meets one girl thing, but this is ridiculous. If that one boy had like multiple personality things, is going to be super scary. Right. So, yeah. So Zuko was like, okay. He was cool with it. Because Sorry. So everybody's like, or you all are probably like thinking that, oh, Chaco is gonna date the Zuko because Bakugo's already taken, but yeah. For being in the godly tier, that's what it is. Zuko just made a new tier thing. Called godly tier. Basically, godly powers. Zuko's the only one that can perform it. So, yeah. As he visits with his old comrades and he did tell them that how one of the powers that he has was, or like has everybody's like personalities inside of him. He explains that whoever was born with it needs someone else to take away their memories or just cut that piece off. Ooh, that's probably dangerous, as Frog Girl says. Yeah, it is. I learned that a hard way when Inko took away my memories, and that's how, yeah. So, and through this entire thing, hold on, let's see. Okay. So, I said this is going to be a long one. So, during the making of this What If, like part 1 and part 2, I felt like I redesigned that character from MK1 fused with, or actually remade him into much more like, goes from this, oh, I'm gonna kill everything, to a more relaxed and like child's play thing. So yeah, I was doing like the big buff guys like walking around kind. So now this is the end of the What If. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and no, I did not add Overhaul arc into this What If because Overhaul is dead in a part 1 when Zuko murdered all the villains. But he did save Ares. Ares from, yeah. Because she wasn't a villain, she was an innocent girl. And he even told her that she was innocent. And also, it feels like I also kind of like remade him into like a Ghost Rider kind thing. Like that personality of his. And yeah. So that's why. So now, please leave a like, share, subscribe. Peace out, y'all.